What's up? What's up? Yours truly, the voice, Mr. Savoir Faire. As him is I is him is me. Mr. Savoir Faire, the DL Marshall, and it is time for yet another other edition of Marsh Media News Update. You know, that show where you make the news public. We do our best to make it popular. And you know, I've been rolling this seat with Mr. Marvin Durant before Marvin came on. I was doing it with Sean Lee. Then I had to do it solo dolo, and now we have a guest co-anchor right now. We're trying to make it where she is permanent in it, but we're going to see. Y'all like that word? Boy, look, I got them skills from back in the 90 rapping. Yeah, that's like that supersonic. When y'all swore she was saying something, Baby D was saying something, they say it, Baby D. Yeah. Yeah, we know Baby D wasn't saying nothing. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my co-anchor today behind the Marsh Media News Update desk. Let's give it up for none other than Miss Shasta L, the Remedy, Thirst Quencher. What's happening, Shasta?
Hello, how are you?
I am doing fine. I'm doing fine. Hey, it looks as though you got some nice greenery in the background. Is that a plant of your own, or?
Yes, it's a little plant. Yeah, this is my background.
Okay, so you got a green thumb? Is that what that is?
No, it's not real.
My bad.
It just look cute.
Okay, well, let me get out your business then. Hey, guys, as always, y'all know what we want you to do. Come in. We want you to like. We want you to share. We want you to subscribe. If you're watching us via Facebook, thank you so much. Share it, like it, subscribe. If you're watching us from my YouTube channel I-70 MMBE, please do so. And man, look at here. We're trying to get everybody over from Facebook by February 2025. We want the majority, the bulk of our subscription watchers to be watching us from the airwaves of YouTube. You can always also find us on iHeart and Spotify. All right, we've got some news coming up that is going to grasp some folks' attention, but also we got Dr. Marvin Durant, the guru of sports, going to be joining us this morning as well. All right, so let's get it like this. You live in Atlanta, Georgia. So same-sex relationships is not something that would make you go, oh, or you know, you're common to see a lot of men with full makeup. I tell you what caught me off guard. I've grown up having some family members, one in particular, that had full facial makeup, the arch eyebrows, all that. But what this last year, going down to Atlanta so much for filming I Survived Suicide, y'all go check that out on EGO Entertainment Network. But I saw a couple guys with full beards or either full goatee with a full beat face. And sometimes when you're not used to seeing something, it causes reactions that is not typical, that could be considered or deemed as disrespectful when it's something that you're not used to seeing. Well, where are you going, DL? I'm headed down way of Boosie. Once again has a media take about his daughter, who has now been 2 years out of the closet. I guess that's still okay to say. Hopefully I'm not offending or being offensive to anyone. But Boosie goes on record once again of saying something that has been taken by the community as disrespectful, as hurtful, insensitive. And I can see both sides of the fence. I can see where when you are a father that is of Boosie's age and older, I believe I'm a little older than Boosie, so I would say anywhere from maybe 80 back to like into your 70s, 60s. That was a lifestyle that was not what we wanted for our sons, what we didn't want for our daughters. Although it still was a lifestyle, it was more secretive. They had more underground clubs that they had to go to. And now, as we find ourselves in this generation, is that you are now liberated to come out. You are more supported to come out. And when she came out, she did not find that support from her father, as I'm sure she hoped she would get. Well, Boosie was on a, I guess, popular podcast, and he was asked about his daughters coming out. Now, I'm going to dissect this once I get your take on it. But when he was asked the question, he would respond in such as saying, you know, my father wasn't for it. My grandfather wasn't for it. I'm not for it. I don't want it in my house. She's grown. I'm grown. I don't want it in my house around her siblings. Now, here comes the insensitivity that a lot of people I can see were offended by that may be in the community. I don't want her around her younger siblings, contaminating them. I don't want them to look at, as they look up to her. I don't want them being contaminated and think that's something that they should do. What are your takes on Boosie's stance? What are your take on Boosie's response? Because those are two different things, Shasta.
Well, his stance is his stance. You know, I'm not going to criticize anyone for feeling how they feel about, you know, certain topics, certain, especially that one. You know, it's still, even though it's more accepted now, it's still very much taboo. But, you know, his stance is his stance, and he's always very vocal about how he feels about certain things. And Boosie gon' Boosie. And you know, it is what it is, you know. Now his response to it, I mean, as a mother myself, as a person that is accepting of the community, I don't want to get the letters wrong, LGBTQ
Just
community.
go, just sing your alphabets, and you're gonna be in good shape.
Don't do that. That, you know, that's accepting of that, because you know, I like to lead with love, so I'm not, my response will always be out of a love response. So bringing my own personal feelings toward it, I, even if I don't agree with it, you know, I'm still going to be respectful. Like saying that the kids will be contaminated is, I don't, it's not a disease, you know what I mean? Like it's not something that can be caught. You know, homosexuality can't be caught, you know.
Right.
So it's like that statement was like too much. And then like to say, I think he said she wasn't welcome in his home, but the daughter, you know, still is. But of course the daughter's not gonna come if you're not accepting my, you know, person that I'm with. You know, I mean, I would think maybe he could keep it like that unless she decides to marry her. Then maybe he can open up to being a little more accepting. But it's, to me, it's all about love. I see families like really get torn apart by, you know, someone coming out of the closet, or you be the parent that's going to accept your child, you know, no matter what, because we say unconditional love, but that's one of them, you
Yeah.
know. So that's pretty much how I feel about it. I didn't like his response, but his stance is his stance.
Amen. And I'm big on, I like how you say you like to lead with love. My one of my mantras is I lead with respect so I can leave with respect. And I respect Boosie's right to say what he said, but I also respect the fact that everybody has the right to love who they want to love. Now, here's my deal. I know a whole lot of fathers, I know a whole lot of mothers that will not allow their grandchildren's father in the house. I know a whole lot of mothers that won't allow their grandchildren's mother in their house. Is
Mm-hmm.
that now phobia? No. So basically, is what it's saying. I don't agree with this person for you. Now, the why is insensitive. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
no way my grandchildren's father could ever step foot in my house, but it has nothing to do with a preference. It has everything to do. My Jamaican jumped out at me. I was about to say it has everything, but it has everything to do with characterization, his character,
Mm-hmm.
and the type of human being that he isn't. Um, but yeah, now I will say this: Boosie has now have to be more savvy. He has to be more aware of the setup questions, because the podcast host set him up by asking that question.
Yeah.
Her whole job was to get a hot take to go viral. Boosie is one of those that is a viral machine because he doesn't bite his tongue. He doesn't mince his words. So therefore, I would suggest to Boosie, anything that you have to say and your stance, I'm not telling you to change it. I'm saying say it to your daughter, not in a public forum, not in social media, because it's hurtful. His daughter had a response, and you could tell she was shaken. She was broken. All right. When it's all said and done, you know Boosie loves his child. That's the reason why it affects him the way it does. Now, you can say, why does it affect him? It shouldn't affect him. You can't tell a human being how to harbor their emotions on some things that they may not have been accustomed to. And if we keep it out of the public eye, I think at some point the love that he has for his daughter will supersede the disdain that he has for her lifestyle. And possibly they could come to some type of loving resolve. But yeah, as a father who has a child that has been in a relationship with someone I despise, who has now had children by someone I despise, I love my grandchildren enough to where if we was at a birthday party and all of us was in the same room, I'm not going to beat him up in front of my grandchildren at my grandchildren's party. Although I would want to, I wouldn't, because the love I have for my grandchildren overrides the disdain I have for their father. But he will never, and I do say never, set foot in my home. He would never be invited to one of my cookouts, ever. And if I'm paying for the party, wherever the party is, he's going to have to get a doggy bag brought to him, if at all, because he's not welcome to any place that I purchase. And I can see what Boosie is saying. I don't want him in my house. Well, if you don't want a person in your house, that's your home.
Yeah.
All right. I want to say this to you. I'm glad to see that you are alive and well. As I sent out a post to all of you, and to not only you, but to everyone in Atlanta and the Georgia area that was hit by that hurricane storm.
Yeah.
Man, my condolences to each and every one of you. I got a lot of good people that mean a lot to me down in the Atlanta area. And so I'm so glad. Well, Shasta, this is your first edition to the Marsh Media News Update. So I get fly when I come on anyway. But then when I get guests such as yourself, I try to even fly up a little more. So I just went with the basic black on chocolate. So I'm going now. There we go. We matching like a mug. That's an old term. Marvin, when we bring him up, he'll be able to appreciate that. We matching like a mug. But I'm finna get into business mode. So I got to come out the fly gear so that I can see. You feel what I'm saying? Because I need these here. Voila! And there was like, all right, let us go over into the comments as we just hit that. Star Official, good morning to you. Star Official says, my heart goes out to them both because she needs her dad and needs to be there no matter what. Definitely. What's up, Tammy? Brony Cat, what's happening, DL? I saw it here in Chicago. I was so confused. Yeah, definitely. So y'all keep them comments coming. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. All of you that are watching us via the network and airwaves of YouTube at channel I-70MMBE and of Facebook at the Marsh Media, as well as the DL Marshall. So yeah, we're going to touch on one more thing, and then we're gonna call the guru up and to the news desk. All right. So Kendrick Lamar had the summer anthem. K. Dot said, y'all ain't like you not like us. You not like us. Yeah. See, look, yeah, there you go. That's why it was the anthem. And
okay.
Come on now. A minor. Yeah. So but
I just learned that song like a couple of weeks ago.
What?
Anyway.
What? I don't know. And you say I'm slow?
Right. I don't be up on it. children.
But K Dot, they had a war of words, diss tracks, back and forth, which I am in the rudiments. I am of generation one of hip hop. Hip hop was birthed out of my generation. And I loves me a good beef back and forth. As long as it stays on wax, as long as it doesn't spill out into the streets of Las Vegas, as long as it doesn't spill out into the streets of LA, as long as it doesn't spill out into the streets of Chicago and Memphis, Tennessee. You get where I'm coming from? As long as we keep it on wax. And man, K Dot, man, he obliviated Drake, gave Drake everything he wanted, and then some he didn't want. Have you ever been to the grocery store, you get in line and your card declined because you had too much stuff on? Yeah, that's what happened. Drake took out more than he could afford with that one. So now report says, you know, everybody's been complaining why Jay-Z get Kendrick Lamar to perform at the Super Bowl in New Orleans instead of getting Lil Wayne. Well, hey, you could say not only did he not get Lil Wayne, he didn't get Cash Money, he didn't get No Limit, but he got somebody that was the hottest in hip hop right now and that would get a whole lot of eyes, someone that has performed Super Bowl. Okay, it's Kendrick. But now report says that there has been a cease and desist order sent out to K Dot, Kendrick Lamar, on behalf of Drake and Drake's camp, that he cannot perform They Not Like Us at the halftime show in the Super Bowl. If that is true, that is a soft, corny, and you need to retire from hip hop thing to do. Right. Now, Drake says, his circle says, no, that's not true. It was the Super Bowl that sent out the cease and desist. Let me say something. The Super Bowl don't have to send out a cease and desist order to anyone. They say, this is our platform. This is what you can't do. And if you remember when K Dot performed with Dre, Snoop, and 50 and M, he was not able to say Popo, kill Popo. So he just said the word kill. Everybody knows the lyrics anyway. Right. So, I mean, so yeah, he's trying. It's alleged that Drake sent out a cease and desist so that now maybe he didn't send it to K Dot. He could have sent it to the NFL, but a cease and desist is alleged that Drake sent out so that Kendrick could not perform Not Like Us. So what do you think on that?
I think it's ridiculous. You know, like what if they would have cease and desist, you know, Ether, you know, like Nas and Jay-Z. You can't do that. Let them, you know, and it's a hot song. Like, why wouldn't you perform it? Like, Drake, like I don't get too much into hip hop. Like I'm not, like I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I haven't heard all of the, you know, the diss. I don't get into it. I really don't. I be in my own world. I really do. But
man, what would the world be without hip hop?
I mean, I like hip hop. Like I have.
You like that? You like that? You like that hip hop?
I mean,
that thirst rap. You like that thirst rap?
So my era was the crunk music era. So yeah, probably.
Oh, so, yeah. Now, tell me some crunk era artists.
Lil Jon and the East Rap, all of that, you know.
Yeah. That's Atlanta. That's Atlanta rap.
All of that. Yeah, all that. So I came up and that's what we was listening to, you know, ready to start some fights.
Petey Pablo. 3-6 Mafia.
North Carolina. He put North Carolina on the map. You know, that's where I'm originally from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 3-6 definitely 3-6 Mafia. Yeah. Oh my God, I love me some 3-6 Mafia.
Man, for to be an old dude, I know a little something, huh?
Yeah, so you know the era. I mean, I was, you know, born in the late 80s, but you know, came up in the 90s, 2000s music. So really the 2000s music was my era. So I just don't get. That's why I said with Ether, like that's the last beef that I'm like really scared of.
Listen, if they didn't send a cease and desist to a song, a rap diss that's probably arguably the illest rap beef song, but definitely in the top three. If this song didn't get cease and desist, first off, and that's all I can say without getting in trouble. But if if Potts this song did not, yeah, hit him
Now
up,
that was one too, but that was before Ether. But
yeah,
yeah, oh, of
hit him
course,
up, inspired
that
Ether,
I know that.
yeah,
I was in the when I listened to it, I'm like, oh my
yeah,
god,
yeah. He
that
got
hurt
straight to it.
me. He did. I'm
Even
proud.
before the song started, he said, "That's why I'm like, whoa, this is about to be good."
No, it was good. It
No
was good.
Vaseline. That didn't
No,
get
that,
ceased and desist.
mm,
But if
right.
it
So
comes
it's
out, and a lot of cease and
much.
desist become public record, right? So if it
Mm-hmm.
comes out that Drake is lying, because Drake's camp has lied about him not doing stuff before, and it comes out that he did. If a cease and desist comes out and it shows public record that Drake did, then I'm going to believe a lot of folks in the industry that said Drake is an industry plant. I'm going to say, yeah, he's an industry plant, because
Yeah.
nobody worth their weight in hip hop is going to tell somebody else, don't let him say that. The whole thing is you
Right.
get back in the booth and you cook up something that makes him
Come
stop.
back down.
Yeah.
Right.
All
Exactly.
right. So we gonna see in the days to come. If that now we gonna get into some more Diddy saga in just a moment, but let's see real quick. Tammy D. Taylor says K. Dot killed it, and now they big mad. Yeah, for real. Yeah,
Big
that if you notice in them schoolyard fights, when you couldn't win, you went to go get the teacher or the principal. Brony Cat says Super Bowl is not going to send a cease and desist. Um, she said decease
the
because
season.
they killing it
Yeah.
on
And
any
then
type of music. Right. Drake is an industry plant. All right, let's get ready to hear some sports. Although I have a celebratory feeling because my Chiefs are 4-0, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you did that. I'm sick to my stomach right now. Let's bring up the guru of sports, Mr. Marvin Durant. What's up, the doctor? What's happening, Marvin?
Hi, Marvin.
Well, good morning to you, DL. Good morning. Good morning to you,
Morning.
Shasta. Good to have you with us. Your Falcons screwed me up on my predictions yesterday. I predicted New Orleans to
Lit.
win, and you guys spoiled it. So I'm already ticked off at you. Don't know
Oh
you, but
no.
I'm ticked off at you already.
You gotta wait till the last minute of the game. Don't count us
You
out too
dirty
quick.
birds.
Well, hey, Marvin, she
Don't
definitely
ever count us
she
out.
has experience
Yeah,
in knowing.
yeah.
Hey, Marvin, she has experience in knowing you got to wait to the last minutes of the game, because all game long she thought the Falcons was going to beat the Chiefs, and then all of a sudden,
Yep,
But
yep,
go for it,
yep.
Doc.
That's
that
it.
couldn't happen two times in a row.
Reggie Miller style.
What kind of
Hey,
sports you got for us,
hey,
Marvin?
miracles that happen every day, right?
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Speaking of those Chiefs, they are 4-0, beating the LA Chargers 17-10. However, without some adversity, as Rashid Rice is injured on the play trying to recover a fumble. Patrick Mahomes ran in him, which means Patrick stopped trying to recover fumbles. Just throw the ball, hand the ball off. Just get out the way. She Rice will have a MRI today. It looks like it may be an ACL. So chances are he may be gone for the entire season, which simply means that next man up. More Juju Smith-Schuster, more Justin Watson. They got Kelsey into the game more yesterday. 7 receptions for 89 yards from Kelsey. Um, McCole Hardman, we saw him on the receiving core. We won't talk about number 24 because I'm not taking your high blood pressure medicine this morning. So I don't want to get you upset. But there's plenty of people to step up to the plate. Good return to the Chiefs by Kareem Hunt, 14 carries, 69 yards, almost 5 yards per carry. Now it is time to put the Carson Steele experiment to bed. Kareem Hunt is there, and for the time being, let him be running back number one. Okay, let Carson Steele be your third down back. If you need 1 yard, he can punt in there. Memo to the running backs coach. Please explain to this rookie how to hold the ball while he's going into traffic. He is still young. He is still green. He still needs more coaching. Okay, so that certainly needs to happen. 2 sacks by Chris Jones. They applied a lot of pressure. Of course, they were without a lot of their number one offensive lineman, but nevertheless, the Chiefs did what they had to do. Another ugly win, but a win nevertheless. They're taking on New Orleans next Monday night here at Arrowhead. So that's what's going on with the Chiefs. They are 4-0, and again, until anyone proves that they're not the best team in the league, they're still the best team in the league. Major League Baseball playoffs begin on tomorrow. The Kansas City Royals back into the playoffs just like Michael did the moonwalk. Seriously. They finished out their season with the win against Atlanta, uh, finishing their season 86-76. They will now go on the road and face the Baltimore Orioles in the wild card series, best of three. So, and all three games will be played in Baltimore. So they got to get their giddy up on. There is no room for nothing other than winning.
Right.
So we shall see what's going on there. There are a couple games being played today. A doubleheader. The Mets and the Braves are playing the doubleheader because a game got placed back because of the hurricane, and it will it will determine where the Braves will be in terms of the play beginning tomorrow, and it also will affect the Arizona Diamondbacks. So postseason baseball is here, and that's a good thing.
And you
Let
know
me
what,
see,
Morgan?
college football over the weekend. Yeah, go ahead.
Real real quick before you get into college football, because I'm excited to hear what you're going to say about Boulder. But a lot of things into perspective. The Royals finished 10 games over 500 this year after last year losing a historic 106 games. So to that has Matty Q
Mm-hmm.
has to be undoubtedly the manager of the year, because to take a team that went and lost 106 games and the very next season they turn around and make the playoffs. Hey man, kudos to Matty Q, kudos to Salvi back in the postseason. Blue October is back in Kansas City.
Yeah, if Matty Q is not the manager of the year, it will be a first-rate travesty. If
Mm-hmm.
anyone deserves it, it's certainly him. And I feel sorry for former Royals coach Pedro Grafal, who got fired from Chicago, and that is a dumpster fire there in Chicago for the White Sox. 121 losses on the year.
Woo! Good
That's
story.
and that hasn't been done since 1962 when you and I were both little pups.
Swimming. I was still
And
swimming.
so you still swimming?
Yeah, I still had 10
Okay.
years. I still had 10 years left of swimming.
Okay, fair enough. I forgot you a youngin compared to me. You are a youngin.
Well, Shasta
AP
seems to
top
think I'm
25.
older.
Well, okay, whatever. Okay, 25 in the AP poll, college football wise. There is a new number one, the University of Alabama, number one team after beating Georgia in that very exciting game on Saturday night, a game in which they pretty much tried to lose. They're up 30-7 at halftime, and you let the Bulldogs come back. come back. And they did, took the lead. But what a pass by Jalen Milrose to that 17-year-old um, wide receiver, freshman wide receiver, Ryan, I believe it's Ryan Reynolds. I believe that's his name. Outstanding catch and outstanding moves to break free to score the winning touchdown.
Wow,
So
man, that was sweet.
Alabama, yeah, that was very sweet. By the way, the Missouri Tigers, they have a off week, a bye week, and they are ranked ninth in the country. And by the way, they did
They dropped.
announce when the
How did they drop them in a
they
bye
dropped
week? Wow.
easy. They didn't play. They didn't play. Look, this
Yeah,
whole
normally they.
this whole AP thing is SEC top heavy. Okay,
Yeah.
there are five SEC teams. Let me see, four Big Ten teams, and had to put on my readers, and one ACC team. No Big 12 team. The highest Big 12 team is number 18, Iowa State.
Wow.
So all of this is nothing about putting money in the pockets of the SEC and the Big Ten. Everybody else pretty much can fish for themselves. But the first poll of the college football playoff will be released on November 5th, which is also election day. So look forward to that and see how these pencil neck geeks are going to screw this up. Now, in Boulder, um, what a great game by actually the game was played in Florida, in Orlando. What a great game by the Colorado Buffaloes, 48-21 over UCF. Without a doubt, the most complete game the Buffaloes have played under Dion's tutelage. They had going on offense, both through the air, and they had a decent running attack, something they haven't had for the past
Very good.
year and a half. Defense was smoking. The offensive line, for once, held halfway decent. And obviously, Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders, they do what they do.
Right.
So it
Right.
was a great complete victory for them. They have this week off. They have a bye week off. Their next contestant will be the Kansas State Wildcats.
Yeah. In
So that
Boulder.
should be a very in Boulder. So that should be a very good test for them. Two more
Yeah.
victories and they're bowl eligible. I know
Yeah.
they're going to get one in November 23rd, when they come to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas Jayhawks. I
Yeah.
already know that's a victory. That's a
And,
W right there
and
because
that's
the
the day before my
Jayhawks,
birthday.
it is okay. Well,
Yeah.
you have a good birthday present for that. And everyone in Lawrence, where I reside, they're waiting for basketball season to start. They have pretty
How
much
did that
written
fall
off
up?
the football team.
How did that fall
I,
apart so quick?
there is some sort of disconnect between Jalen Daniels, the quarterback, and the new offensive coordinator. They have a new offensive coordinator, and it's not working.
Wow.
It's simply not working. And head coach Lance Leipold hasn't figured things out yet. So it's not a good time in Lawrence for football. Everyone's waiting for basketball season. By the way, you spoke of Little John. He will be in Lawrence to open up the preseason practices for the Jayhawks.
For
Late
the
night
Jayhawks.
at the Fog, which is
Yeah.
legendary, and
Yeah.
he is going to be performing.
I might have to come up there
Originally,
for
it was
that.
going to be Nelly, but Nelly, yeah, that would be good. Nelly was originally supposed to do it, but he got in a little trouble outside the casino with contraband and the whole nine
And you
yards.
know what, man?
So,
Nelly,
so
That's
that's
when
supposed to know news.
I'll talk my
I can't hear
irritation.
you, DL.
I said that's when I will talk my irritation after Marvin finishes, because that's
You can
terrible.
hear him, Marvin? Can you hear me?
yes, I can. Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear him.
Yes.
You can hear me, Marvin, right?
Yes, I can. You're cutting out here and there, but I can hear you loud and clear.
I think what happened is she was trying to
Okay.
overtalk me and she didn't want to hear me. Let's bring her back up. Let's see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, bring her back up. Look, she's buffering right now. It looks like.
Yeah, it's her connection. I don't. Well, we can't get her up
Hey,
if
do they have Spectrum in Atlanta?
I don't know, but I have it here and I do not like it. Yeah.
Oh my! Let's turn our attention to the WNBA, and of course, today is media day as the preseason gets underway. But all of that has been overshadowed by the news of the loss of the great Dikembe Mutombo, passing away at the age of 58 due to brain cancer.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
18, 18 years in the association with six teams, and went into the Hall of Fame in 2015. And he was a guy you would not need to mess with.
Right.
The finger wave for all those who are listening. So yeah, sad day when it comes to that. The By the way, the NBA season begins on October the 22nd, and a major trade went down on Friday. It is not yet official, but it looks like the Minnesota Timberwolves are sending Carl Anthony Towns to the Knicks for Julius Randle, which means now, without a doubt, the Ant Man, Anthony Edwards, is the top dog in Minnesota.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be much longer before they did away with Towns. That had grown increasingly weakened. So yeah, we'll see if that was the place or the move to make. So yeah, man, that has been a time in sports. By this time next week, we might be able to tell who is going to be crowned WNBA champion. So yeah, we have a lot to be
Not
able to do.
quite. Well, not quite because they're into the semifinal round, which
Well, I'm
started
saying
on
we'll have a
yesterday.
better look. We'll have a better
Oh, better.
picture at least.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll definitely have a better picture. Speaking of the W, and there's so much to unpack there, but we'll try to keep it brief. The semifinals started yesterday. In game one, the Liberty defeated the Aces 87-77. Brianna Stewart putting up 34 points. In the second game, Connecticut defeated the Lynx 73-70. Over the past week, couple of coaches got fired. Kurt Miller of the LA Sparks. They were the worst team in the league. They were beset by injuries all during the year. Obviously, losing top draft pick Cameron Brink was the key injury there. They had some other people out due to injury and illness, so it just wasn't a good year for the LA Sparks. Magic Johnson, who knows a thing or two about championships, is one of the co-owners of the Sparks, and he says, "quote He's going to start getting more involved." Well, where in the world have you been, Magic? Oh, I forgot. He's been in Washington selling the Commanders.
Hey, he's doing a
You
good
know
job with that.
basketball. You don't know football.
Well, he's
Well,
doing a
yeah,
good
he
job.
is.
He's
Well,
doing a good job. And then the
yeah,
other one,
yeah, he's
Marvin, was the other one is Chicago, right?
yes. Teresa Weatherspoon was fired. So much going on with that organization. Toxic would be it would be a mild estimate. Um, it's between the general manager and the ownership. Something's going on there. Everybody wants out of Chicago. Everybody. Kalia Copper wanted out. She was gone. Marina Mabry wanted out. She's in the playoffs right now. Dana Evans wanted out. They wouldn't let her, so they reduced her playing time.
Yeah, she's
Um,
under a
not-
secure contract, so she's under secure contract, so they can't let her out. Hey, Marvin, we're going to jump in too before it gets much later. We're going to jump in too, but I
Okay.
want you to stick around because this story is going to involve a very popular and very good NFL wide receiver. So we're going to talk about
Okay.
the Diddy saga continues. Are you able to hear me now, Shasta?
Yes.
The Diddy saga continues. And in the continuation of the Diddy saga, we understood he was indicted. We understood he was arrested. We understood that his bail was denied not once, but twice. In the uppers of $50 million, they still said, no, we want to keep you where we want you. He was placed under self-harm watch. And now they're saying that this list has come out with a bunch of names that a lot of people were expecting, but also a bunch of names that people weren't expecting. And there is a video right now circulating the airwaves of YouTube and across the World Wide Web of some Diddy party videos. Now, we understand that when you listen to Uncle Luke, who knows a thing or two about a bachelor party extravaganza. And like I was listening to Uncle Luke, he said this is something that is happening across the country every weekend. There's a bachelor party. The problem is some people fly dancers in from Texas. Some people fly dancers in from Atlanta. Some people fly dancers in from Memphis to other spots. And if they happen to be about that life once they get there and they want to do something extra for some tips, is that a RICO? Is that sex trafficking? So now we starting to look at, they finally figured out a way to get back at Jack Johnson, and they finally found a way to get back at Chuck Berry. But to be flown out now, you remember that was a thing a couple of years ago. I got flued out. Now, if you go by those terminologies in which now they're criminalizing, it's a whole lot of people could be on some RICO charges. It's a whole lot of people could be on some sex trafficking, some prostitution laundering. But when you look at those freak off parties, and that name cracks me up. But if you look at those parties of grown folk engagement, if you look at those parties of indecent proposals, you're looking at people that are not being allowed to leave when they're ready to leave. You're looking at people that are giving drugs unaware, unknowingly drugged in their drinks. That's when it becomes illegal, right? So when you are watching a man in his bath towel run down a hallway and snatch a woman back when she's obviously trying to get away, yeah, that's the crime. Now, if you throw a party and you got consensual adults from different parts of the country flown in, whether they did it themselves or you did it, and they're in this room and they're in this house and they plan on doing consensual things, then that's just a great, gigantic freak party. It's an orgy. Let's call it what it is. But obviously, there was more to those parties than consensuality. All right. Now, here's the sports aspect, and then I'm going to catch Shasta's face and I'm going to let her explain. There's a video going around. A lot of people said that Usher's mama was lying when she said, "Help me get my baby out that man's house." It is alleged that Usher was even rushed to the emergency room because his backside needed some attention, allegedly. But nobody believed it. When May said that he had to get out that house and move away because he was coming downstairs finding dildos and everything in the house, and he said, "I can't live with no man that's got dildos," allegedly. That was brushed under the rug. But what you can't brush under the rug is this video of a hooded OBJ. That's right, Odell Beckham Jr. is at a freak off, a Diddy party with his hoodie on. And he's dancing. And then all of a sudden the camera lowers and you see a young Justin Bieber on his knees in fellatio position. And when OBJ recognized the camera is on him, he ducks down and starts pulling up his pants. The Diddler saga continues. Shasta, you've done some research. You've done some looking. We're gonna go to you, and then we're gonna go to Marvin. I was big on trying to bring OBJ here, but now we don't want to do that because at the looks of it, he may not be able to play a full season either. Go for it, Shasta.
I don't know what to say to that because I hadn't seen that particular story. It's been different. It's so much circulating with, I think, Cuba Gooding Jr. name has been thrown in. As I forgot the rapper's name that I don't want to say
Talking about Lil Rod,
Lil Rod.
the producer.
That, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that he's had, allegedly, set that whole thing up, for Cuba Gooding Jr. to be
That's a
able to.
video out.
Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff circulating. Even the book, this alleged book that Kim Porter wrote, before she passed away, it's a lot of names being named in there. Allegedly, they're saying possibly some stuff was added in, but it it's not looking good far as the extent of the Diddy freak offs and the pass offs and all of that. The main thing was him allowing her to, be with Tupac allegedly, and
You talking
him
about Kim
trying.
Porter?
Mm-hmm.
And Pac,
And
Pac denied that. Pac denied that. And I'm
no, he denied it. Okay, allegedly
yeah,
he was saying that
yeah.
in this book that's circulating, like I said, I don't know how true it is, if it's even her book, but it was even some talk about Al B. Sure engaging in relations with the three of them, and then her feeling left out because him and Al B. Sure was doing their thing,
And you
allegedly.
notice that
So
I'm not saying, but you notice that Al B. Sure was in a coma not too long ago, right?
I look,
Yeah.
it's so
He's just now recovering.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of names, being put out there. And, Cat Williams, he chimed in on the baby oil thing. Like the lawyer was saying that, he doesn't think it was 1,000 bottles. He's not sure where the number is coming from, the 1,000 bottles of baby oil. But he was like, it was a lot, and he may have gotten it from Costco's, buying in bulk type of thing.
Well,
So
how much baby oil
Costco's
do you need, Diddy?
Costco's responded quickly and said, "No, we don't even sell baby oil."
I mean, how
So
ashy are you, Puffy?
how ashy can you be? And then there's also some conspiracy theories kind of going around that the drugs is in the baby oil.
Well,
So
let me
like,
kind of clear up a couple of things to whereas it was no secret that Kim Porter, as most women in the 90s, was very in awe of Tupac Shakur. It's no secret that Puffy idolized, in a sense, to strive to be like Tupac. That's why he started wearing the silk Versace shirts, even though a lot of people says it is rumored, and I'm trying to be careful so the information that I say, I don't implicate the people that's telling me this. But Brony's in the comments, and a couple of other people know that I've been saying this for years, and we've had some off camera, off the record conversations that I've been dead on point with a lot of the things. But I say them in a joking manner. But here's one thing that is alleged, that Puffy went and searched a lot of the women that Tupac slept with to try to go sleep with him for one or two reasons. Either to try to gain his aura, because they say when you're having sex, you exchange spirits. So now he's trying to gain his aura, or in his sick mind, allegedly, that was a way of him sleeping with Tupac, because they say when you sleep with somebody that somebody else has slept with, you're sleeping with them as well. Now, with the I'll Be Sure, Kim Porter, Puffy situation, it's no doubt that both men have slept with Kim Porter. Now, at the same time, I don't know. I know that Corinne Steffens, or better known as Superhead, in her book alleged that she slept with Puffy and another popular rapper, and before she knew it, they both forgot she was in the room. It's been alleged by Gene Deal, Puffy's former security, that it was a couple of women in a room with Puffy and Ja Rule, but when it came to find out that the young women were forgotten about by the two men in the room. However, it is, I will say this: Lil Rod alleged that he was given something when they were all drinking, and then all of a sudden he started drinking, and he felt the lights starting to go dim until they went out, and the next morning he woke up with all his clothes off in the bed with Diddy and another individual, allegedly. Those are not the average uh bachelor parties, for lack of better use of word. Though that listen, if I say Marvin, if I say Shasta, I'm throwing this party, and your party, you're gonna need to leave your phone in the car. You already knowing that there's some stuff finna happen behind the walls that we don't want to get out, right? Here's the
Mm-hmm.
issue. Yes, there's no allegedly to this point. There has not been proven any underage dealings. So let's separate that with the charges with Robert, right? Of course, we don't know yet because they're still formulating their case. But as of now, he has not been accused of fooling with underage women. But the women that are coming in that house, even if they willingly took drugs, even if they consensually had sex, they didn't give consent to being recorded. And that's an old practice that I record what's going on, because sooner or later, somewhere down the line, I'm going to want something from you. And I'm going to have this that you can't. Remember that? I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a whole lot going on. And you had made mention of one other thing, too. It is alleged by some very, very entailed sources that Kim Porter had a surveillance hard drive, or what do you call those things where you pull out the pause that you take out of the computer, the stick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's the hard drive.
The hard
Yeah.
drive.
Flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
The flash drive. And
Hard drive.
so she had a flash
Oh
drive
yeah, flash drive. Yeah.
of some Uptown Records security footage of Andre Harrell doing to Diddy what Diddy is claimed to be doing with some other people. So this is something that has been going, thumb drive, thank you, that has been going on for years, for generations to generation. I will say this again, such as the Negro Leagues versus the major leagues. We have allowed a culture that we have created that became very, very financially stable and fruitful to be taken over by some folks that had nothing to do with the inception or the creation. And we have been fighting ever since each other to get at the top of something that we all started at the top of. We didn't get knocked off by each other. We got knocked off because we saw dollar signs and we figured somebody else could help us get to the bag quicker than us. But we had already had the formula. And at first they were saying rap would never continue. That's noise. That ain't music. And now look at it. But we have allowed the control to get out of our hands. And now we have even manipulated our own community to go forth and take that. Uh Marvin, what do you think about OBJ and poor little Justin Bieber?
I'm not surprised that OBJ will be involved in
No.
any of this. He's always been
Yeah.
a little eccentric, a little bit off kilter, a little bit, and he was messing with a Kardashian. And look, we all know what happens to guys who mess with the Kardashians. Everybody turns up screwed up. So I'm not surprised. Uh, Sadly, that he was with Justin Bieber. Now, again, We don't have a timestamp on all of this. Justin is fairly young still, what 27, 28, something like that. We don't know how long ago this was, so I'm not trying to say this is a underage male situation, but given on the time stamp, this could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Well,
surprised. Oh, if there's any wide receiver in the NFL would be, and maybe I shouldn't say wide receiver, in the NFL
uh,
who would
he's
be
wide
involved
open.
in
Hit
something
him.
like
He's
this,
wide
it
open.
would be.
Hit him. Hit him. Go deep. He's wide
Yeah,
open.
it, yeah,
I
it
can't hear
would
him.
be OBJ, and
He's saying something good.
I don't know what's
oh,
happening with
oh, you can't hear me,
Shasta.
Shasta?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
It's Spectrum in Atlanta.
Yeah, I can hear both
Or
of you
what?
guys.
No, they do. No, they have. I think they have Cox Communication down there. I don't know. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, it's
I mean,
CNN over
Marvin
there. I don't know.
Marvin is on a slight delay where he's unable. Like I'm coming in, I can tell I'm coming in on a slight delay to Marvin because he's coming in on a slight delay to us. But I think that's more on the technical side in the ATL than it is up this way. But yeah,
Yeah.
I hate that, and I would just be as one to say, man, if that's something that you like, let's see if we can get her in now. Are you able to hear me, Shasta?
Yeah, I could hear you. I just couldn't hear Marvin.
Yeah, Marvin's on a delay,
Yeah,
so you
she's
might have.
quiet.
Yeah, and see, she's not buffering with me. I think it's you two's connection that is because Marvin's on
Okay.
a
Okay. Yeah, she's clear. Yeah, she's clear. Yeah, she's
Marvin's
clear
on a
right now.
delay. I'm obviously on the delay. So guys, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna ask if you guys let me moderate. That way we can eliminate cutting across each other. But I know I'm on a delay with Marvin. But what I was going to say
Yeah, go
is
ahead.
that if you like men, gentlemen, be honest with the women you still may be attracted to. Give an individual a choice not to be a victim in your desires. If you desire to enjoy men and women, if you are a woman that want to enjoy a man and a woman, let your partners know that's your enjoyment. Likewise with men, if you are a man that enjoy men and women, let the women in your life know that's your enjoyment because that may not be something they want to partake in. That just might be a little more than what they want to endure. But don't catch people uh by off guard. Don't get a woman and make babies with this woman because you're trying to fight your urges that you have with a man. And there are a lot of men that do that. They have babies after babies after babies so they can prove to themselves, no, I like women. I like women. But then you wind up having these babies and this woman find out that you still have not been able to fight these urges, you just suppress them. Shasta, as a woman living in Atlanta, which is, if not the highest population of homosexuality, but one of in the whole United States, as a heterosexual woman, how do you navigate that through the dating pool? How do you vet if a man is just into you and not into men as well?
I mean, like you said, I would hope that, they would disclose that information, if you're in, because I mean, it's a lot of men here that will, let you know that they, like both, they like, or any, they, call it pansexual, I believe. I don't know all the terms, but, they like a variety, they like certain things, they will disclose that to you. But the other ones that still, on the DL or in, no,
Hey, hey,
or or
hey.
just haven't came out the closet yet. They are hiding it. I mean, it is something because I've seen it. I've seen men that they are living a heterosexual lifestyle, and I know that they like men, and and But one friend that I do have, like, they do want to, make sure they let, if they choose to marry a woman, that they let her know about their past, and that's commendable to me. But I mean, navigating that with dating, I mean, I hope that they disclose and let me know, just to give me that choice. But people gonna people, so you never know. You just don't know. And especially if they don't, necessarily appear to be homosexual. So
I'm under, and this is going to be a dang DL segment. The Shasta, Marvin, if either one of you want to come back, you can. As we get ready to close this edition of Marsh Media News Update, I'm under the far belief that a woman knows. It's whether if she wants to accept what she's seen. And it's amazing how, and I joke about it on stage, how women's intuition only kicks in after you've been cheated on. And it's a glitch if that's the case. But I think your intuition kicks in like, he got some tendencies. And I notice it a lot of times in the church and in certain denominations of the body, that there are a lot of men that I think women just want to be married, so they listen to people and say, "Oh, I think this is," and so they try to overlook certain tendencies. They overlook certain characteristics. They overlook certain mannerisms because they want that man that has been told to them is the man of God for them. And then down the line, they wind up coming out in a situation such as, unfortunately, we had in Kansas City, of a church and a minister murdering his wife or unaliving his wife, and then discarding her in a field and wrapping her up because she came home from work and exposed or his secret became reality to her. But we'll get on into that on a episode of Dang DL, because I'm going to ask you a question. Marvin, we'll give you closing remarks. Shasta, we'll come back to you closing remarks, and then I'll close out. But you said you would hope a man would be integral enough to let you know if he's had that in his past or if those are some of his desires. If a man was to come to you and disclose that to you, are you going to follow through with that relationship, or would you respectfully say, hey, I respect the fact that your honesty, but I can no longer move forward?
I mean, in a perfect world, I would just say, I mean, obviously I'm heterosexual, so I like sexual men, and that I don't want to be too, but I don't. That's too many people, men and women. Like, you like men and women, like that's too
He's
many
greedy.
people. So, but no, just seriously.
How much all do you need, Diddy?
But no, uh, I've never had that happen before, so I don't want to be like, you know,
Well,
mm,
hopefully you never have to come across that decision. Uh,
yeah,
but I want to touch on that. Pause. I want to cover that topic on a dang DL. I think that would be a good first episode. Brony Cat says, I believe the women look more on facial features than physique. And I got some homeboys that were called pretty boys, but they was good with them hands, and all they desired was women. And then I have some family members that their physiques was that of Greek gods, and all they dug was men. Pause. But they
I mean, the way people presenting themselves now, you just really sometimes you just to me you can't tell, like you said, you see the tendencies, you see the mannerisms, like to an extent. But if somebody's presenting themselves like I'm a heterosexual male, I like women, and then you kind of get the little whisper like he seem a little, you be like, well, he said he got children, things of that nature. It may have just been a thing that he did, because and then sometimes men they don't even really if they not in a relationship with a man, they don't really see themselves as being gay if they done had sex in the past with a man. I don't know, but it is touchy. You might want to save that for dang DL for real, cause it's this Atlanta, so
It's sure enough touchy.
it's
It's
never
sure enough touchy. But,
Paul.
but I would say this. That's why I make it a practice of speaking of speaking with people and almost interrogating people. Have you ever had a threesome? Was that threesome two women and a man? Was that threesome two men and a woman? Was that threesome all women? Those are questions nowadays that don't get asked because people, as Brony says, they like what they see in the face. They might like what they see in the physique, and then they turn around and they laying down with a stranger that they expecting that stranger to be upfront with them instead of them asking questions that will cause someone to have integrity or not. What about you, Marvin? I know we from the same era. There are certain men code. I'm from the era like you that if you done tongue kissed a man, then you homosexual. You have had a homosexual encounter, and it don't make you less man. It makes you homosexual man. I don't care if you done tongue kissed a man and laid down with a man and you ain't did it in 20 years. If year 22 a man come around that you find incredibly attractive, there's an opportunity that you fall back into that. That's just my thinking. Hopefully, I ain't insulted nobody, but that's just my thinking.
Well, no. Well, I'm in a little era just older, a little older than you, and from an era where men were manly men, and that was a time where men were not as overly um, homosexual because it was definitely forbidden. Definitely, it was a situation where you got shunned or you got your butt beat. But if you kind of pay attention as time goes on, you can kind of tell, you can kind of get a feeling that some people swing both ways, or some people that totally swung the other way. It becomes pretty apparent. And again, this is not only geared toward men; it's geared to women as well. We have to look at it on the other side. And for women, I can honestly say it's not clear cut who is heterosexual or who is homosexual. Only thing you gotta look, I will one person to use as an example as Dejanay Carrington, the Connecticut Sun. If you look nails, which now people are in claws, but that's for a different segment. She's got the false eyelashes. She's got the nice hair. One would think, oh, she's a beauty, but she tends
But
to
she
live a
used
different
to.
lifestyle.
Yeah, she used to. She used to date us. But something about that Phoenix air. Let me stop.
That sun, yeah. Or hey, yeah, we have heard that, and maybe that some of that is on us because some of us guys are just downright crazy and silly and stupid. We drive people to the other side of the moon. I don't know.
I will say this. Felicia says they're in textbook called Lipstick Lesbians. Yeah. But I will say this. No one can
Whoa.
drive you. I don't. I've had some women do some crazy things to me. I've had some women say some crazy things to me. I've had some women do some crazy things to me. I'm not going to share today, but not one of those incidents, Marvin, made me say, "Ooh, look at Harold. He'll treat me so much better than Harriet. No. So if it's in you, it's in you. Curiosity killed the
True.
cat, and satisfaction brought it back. So some strong advice that my dad told us. He said, some people just want to, and let me use a better word because he was trying to really get to us. Some people don't care how they get that feeling as long as they get that feeling. And some people are just that freaky to whereas they can start off in a room with said woman and dude, or woman and dude if it's a woman and woman, and they start off into that guy, and then now she's wide open, in literally and figuratively. She's feeling things that she's never felt before. She looks down, and what she thought was the guy doing that to her happened to be the girl doing that to her, and she's like, well, hey, it feels good, I'm here now. Some people don't care if it's a rose that helps them get that feeling. Some people don't care if it's a case of baby oil that helps them get that feeling. As long as they get that feeling, that's all that matters. Why you use, see Felicia, you starting stuff. That you starting stuff. Yeah. You that was not that. Apologize, Felicia, you starting stuff. Harold just so happened to rhyme with Harriet. They both had H's. How about that? What about Daryl? Hey, Daryl. What about that? Is that better? Y'all ain't finna make me have no enemies now, because y'all know I take medication and my anger sometimes goes faster than my thought. You ain't gonna have me in no beefs. You ain't gonna have me in no podcast beefs. You ain't gonna do it, Felicia. Apologize right now. But yeah, so I think that'll be a good dang DL subject and situation that we can go to. And yeah, man, I just feel like this. If it's your preference, it's your preference. Be happy in your preference. Be happy in your choices. And quit forcing people to accept your choices, because all black people ain't accepted yet. And you don't see us getting nothing. Mm. Uh, I'm just asking. Calm down before I screenshot. You can screen. I'm, see what I'm saying? How my anger. I'm a 70s man. I don't run from nobody. If you screenshot it, it's in context. I know she's just kidding, but you see how people can get in trouble? That's just me. And still gonna catch flights. I'm still going where I want to go. But that, to my friend that she is referring to, not at all was I inferring that. That's not the only one with that name in the world. But Jesus, yeah, that lets me know though. Thank you, Felicia. That's a reminder of how we have to be careful with the words we use, because certain things can be mistaken. As we said, certain things can be mistaken, and it's like, oh man, what did he do? Why did he do that? Yeah, I guess. Any last words, Marvin? Let me get off of here.
The great topics as usual, DL. Very
Thank you.
thought provoking. Coming up on my podcast, which will be published in a couple hours. Myself and my co-host, the Awesome Voice, will talk about what's going on in the world of sports, and we got into a very deep conversation about some of the troubling aspects of the WNBA beyond coaching changes, beyond the playoffs, is fan behavior and how bad it is by one fan base. And you can kind of figure out which one that is.
Mm.
So join us on Spotify on the record.
All right, that's a good one. What about you, Shasta?
Shasta. All right. Well, yeah, thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Well, this is my second time being on. Well, my first time on this platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, but thank you for having me. I last night I realized that the movie that I had, I'm in one scene in the movie. So don't act like I'm sending y'all over there like, go catch me in this movie. You only see me in the one scene.
Don't
Yeah,
blink.
I'm just don't blink or you might miss me. But so the movie is Christmas Angel. It's streaming on Tubi right now. Great movie. Christmas came early. Everybody was surprised to see it out already. I thought it was gonna come out like late November, early December, but it's out on Tubi right now. Great message. And like I said, I'm in there. Follow me on here, Shasta Leslie, IG, a name like Shasta, and yeah,
Thirst quencher.
thirst quencher. And Shasta is used to be a soda. You know, I
Yep.
ain't so thirst quencher, big body beans, aka big body beans.
BBB. Well, y'all, Shasta, hopefully you will decide to come back and do another Marsh Media with us. We definitely, I want to get a couple of ladies on a dang DL, and I just want to get you guys' perspective and outlook on, dating with the topic that we talked about. Not only that, because to me that is a level of emotional abuse if the woman doesn't know and have an idea. That is a setup, and I don't believe in setting anybody up for something they're not prepared for. Well, on behalf of the guru of sports, Dr. Marvin Durant, on behalf of the big body bands, the remedy, Miss Thirst Quencher herself, Shasta Leslie. You go check her out in Christmas Angel on Tubi. Yours truly, the voice, Mr. Savoir Fair. Atlanta, get ready. We'll be down that way October 24th through the 26th. Yay, yay. And also Kansas City, New Year's Eve. We're going to be right here at the Blue Room. We sold that sucker out last time, so you get your tickets early. And you can catch me in one scene, a couple of lines, no name, no, but I am a police officer in I Survived Suicide, which you can hear Shasta's voice in that movie as well. So, hey, man, we're trying to build that resume as actors and creators, and y'all make sure y'all support. If you have not yet subscribed to Channel I-70, MMBE on YouTube, please do so, man. Please do so, sir. Tell somebody about us. We trying to get those subscriptions up and those numbers up. Dropped a clip, y'all, last night. Me and Bam, our interview with Reginald Ballard. You know him as Bruh Man from Martin and Big Fella from the Bernie Mac Show. And man, we dropped that sucker, and within an hour, we were up to 700 YouTube views. So we trying to drop content. We're going to be recording a lot of content when I get down to Atlanta. Man, we're trying to go worldwide, and we're trying to make this one of your favorite news shows and outlets anywhere. So, hey, till the next time, man, we thank y'all so much. Marvin, thank you for the sports. Shasta, thank you for the comments and the collaborations. Till the next time, y'all. We out.